Hello everyone, why is there a race car on your screen? There's a race car on your screen because I don't need the screen for this recording. I just want to record myself talking about a couple of things to you. So I decided that since I'm the teacher, I could put anything I want on the screen, and this is my favorite NASCAR driver, Tony Stewart. So you'll get to look at the fabulous Tony Stewart while I talk to you about Chapter 6, the oral presentation. You should have already read Chapter 6 a couple of weeks ago when we were preparing before the break for the upcoming oral presentation. I wanted to mention a couple things to you. Let's move away from the issue of how we're going to do it and the platform we're going to use to upload the oral presentation for the moment, and just talk about the actual content itself. The assignment is a 10 to 15 minute presentation. That means you can't be less than 10 nor more than 15. That's important. You must use visual aids. I want you to read this chapter on your own. You're responsible for understanding the details of this chapter, but there are a couple things I want to point out to you. You must use visual aids. You have to use a slideshow. Don't make the slides too text heavy. The slides are not supposed to be a substitute for your for your notes. You're not supposed to read off the slides. You're not supposed to give your presentation by reading the written word. You're supposed to have some notes. You're supposed to speak it as almost like a sales pitch. That's really what this is. This is a sales pitch of your proposal. So you must use visual aids. Make those visual aids a little snazzy, jazz them up a little bit. Don't make them very, very text heavy. Don't be afraid to use some photos and things like that. It is an oral draft of your final project, which means that you're basically working on your final project the same time that you're working on the oral presentation. The difference is that the oral presentation is going to be an abridged version of it. This is your sales pitch. You've given the sales letter to your patron. They've said, yes, I think it's worth listening to. You're now coming in and saying, okay, here is my my proposal. This is what I'm really going after here, and I want you to buy it, essentially. So understand that you've got to research it. You've got to have all that detail together. You've got to have your price together, your budget together. You'll see that we talk about price and budget in a few moments in this lesson plan. The basic parts of the presentation are in your Magrino-Geller book. I want you to look at that. You want to announce your topic with a title slide, address your specific audience, give your audience some sense of how you're going to proceed, define the problem and try to quantify it some way, present your research, describe your plan of action. Notice the difference that we have now. We're going from talking about our problem and our paradigm. We are shifting gears and now talking about our paradigm, but more about the plan and the price. That's what's important now. The plan and the price has to be supported by research as well, so don't forget that's important. We're describing our plan of action. Tell us about your budget and explain the price. Critical that that is in the actual presentation. The person who is your patron, who is watching this, needs to understand that what they have to do, how much it's going to cost. They should be able to say, yes, I love it, I want to do it, right when you're done with your sales pitch, even though we know that they're going to take the time to review our final proposal that we're going to hand to them. The two main differences between the oral and the final, as it says in your book, are that the oral is spoken and that it's missing the bibliography of sources. We call it a works cited page. There's lots of different things to prepare. There are issues of delivery, there's content and all that kind of stuff. There's advice in using PowerPoint slides. I think that the advice that they give you is helpful as far as jazzing it up, maintaining consistent font. You can see all the bullet points in Chapter 6. I don't think you have to worry too much about using PowerPoint to develop a presentation in that chapter. I think we all learned about PowerPoint in 6th grade. But that's the important stuff for the oral presentation. Read Chapter 6. I did not go over everything. You want to look at Chapter 6. It gives you direction. It's not very long, and you'll find out exactly what's going on here. The oral presentation is a lot of the final material, the stuff you're going to work on for your final. Do your research, get working on it, and good luck.